What's up, everybody? Jamming it with Paint Your Body. Gonna get right into this paint job. This is a clear coat peeling or delaminating situation. I've seen it a lot on these Hondas. This is a 2002. Other areas of the car were affected as well, but the customer wanted the hood and the roof taken care of, so that's pretty much what we did. I didn't show the sanding aspect of it, which I could have, maybe I should have, I don't know. Myself and one of my co-workers, we took to sanding down the hood and the roof on this. We started out with 180 grit on the dual action sander, the DA sander, and that didn't feel like it was cutting, I guess, good or quick enough. So we dropped it down to 120 grit for the DA, and that seemed pretty effective. So we went over it with the 120 grit. And then I believe we went over it really quick with 180 and then hit it with some 320 real quick. Yeah, we put 4 coats of primer on it. And, you know, we let that flash up pretty good. And coming back, I believe the next day, we got this all prepped out. You know, here we're at with this job right now. Anyways, my camera, I guess, wasn't recording when I sealed the roof, so I had a feeling it wasn't, so I'm glad I stopped to check, so at least I could show sealing the hood on it. But taking a quick look, you could see that the sealer's on the roof. Now, what we're doing is covering the roof now with the base coat. This is going to be the first coat. The color paint coat, I think it's R517P. But again, this is a 2002 Honda CR-V, and a lot of these had issues with the paint peeling and delaminating. Delaminating is you know, when the clear is peeling off from the base coat. The base coat and everything underneath look to be pretty good, but when you have a situation like that, you really just need to strip it all the way down. Just because who knows, you know, the base coat's been beat up by the sun, there's been contamination, just other things. So it's important to just strip that all the way down and start from scratch. So with any other paint job, or just like on any other area of the car, you still want to make sure that you're doing it, you're at least your 50% overlap. And by that, what I mean is, with each pass of the spray gun, you want to move for the next pass 50% past the edge of the last pass. That way you're getting the most even coverage that you can, and you're putting down the color, sealer, whatever you're spraying, sealer, color, clear. Once you get more experienced, or if you already know what you're doing, you know, there's people that do 60, 70, 80, 90% overlap. You just have to know what's going on, and you know, as long as you get the good results that you need to do that, that's fine, that's your business. But at least do a 50% overlap. I think, you know, judging by what I'm showing here, I'm doing more than a 50% overlap. But, you know, it's really no sweat. Everything's coming out nice and even. So this is just the way that I'm spraying this. And this color actually covers pretty well. Usually reds don't cover all that well. But, you know, what I've noticed with this DuPont, or Exalta, I should say, Chroma Premier, is, you know, as long as you use the proper value shade, which is the proper color of sealer underneath the base coat, you really don't have any issues with coverage. So, you know, I mean, it works out pretty good. So I sped up this video here just to save for time. You know, I'm trying to keep these video lengths a little bit shorter and kind of get through it quicker with still seeing exactly what's going on. So, you know, I sped it up. I'm going to put this second coat on just the way I did the first coat. You know, make sure you're doing the same overlap. Make sure you're getting your edges. Make sure you're getting your coverage and consistency. You want to stay consistent when you're spraying. So even though this is sped up and you still can see, you know, it's at a really quick pace, but you know, it still shows how I'm doing it. So that's basically what's going on here. All right, so this is right into the third coat. Now, in the last video I said, and I do this with all my jobs, I'll turn the lights off in the booth. This is how I like to do it. And I'll grab the sun gun or the color checking light, and I'll come in and I will check all the areas of the paint job, the areas that I'm refinishing. And what I'm looking for is to make sure that I have coverage, that it's even, there's no striping or anything like that, which really is not an issue. I haven't had that happen to me since, I don't know, I was in high school maybe. But you want to check all this stuff and make sure, because like I said as well in the past, you know, once you're ready to clear coat, if it looks a little iffy or if it looks a little it's not going to look good when you clear it. So you got to make sure. So that third coat though, I went a little lighter, you know, more even, but that's because the coverage was good. I just wanted to even out everything. So I still put on a decent amount of base coat. But I went a little quicker and a little lighter than I did in the first two coats. Went back, turned off the booth lights, checked it again, and it looked amazing. It looked really good, nice and even, no issues. So I tacked it all off, got it all ready, and we're at the step that we're at now with the clear coat. I'm using the 4-to-1 clear on this again with the slow activator, and that's really been making the jobs look really nice. You know, I found that if you use a quicker activator in the warmer temperatures, well, you don't want to use a quick activator, a fast or medium when it's really hot out, especially when you're doing a larger area, such as a roof or a hood or, you know, the whole side of the car, anything bigger than, let's say, like a bumper or a fender or something. But even in that case, a word to the wise and good advice is slower is faster. And what that means is it's better to take your time up front so that you have less problems later and create more work later. You go too fast with the activator, you're going to get pinching with the clear coat. You might get solvent pop. It might shrink. There could be a whole bunch of issues that you might have. So, you know, you might open yourself up to a lot of extra buffing, possibly repainting. You know, so it's important. So slower is faster. So just keep that in mind. That's some of the best advice I was ever given, and I want to pass that along to you guys. Second and final coat of clear here. A little bit heavier. I turned up the pressure a little bit more. I'm spraying at about 26 psi. With this gun, I do like to spray generally at 25 psi. You know, different temperatures and different this and that. Everything affects it to clear everything. But on this job, I like this job about 25-26 psi with the activator and the clear that I'm using. And it's laying out really smooth. You know, everything's going really well. So, you know, that's something you need to, no matter what pressure you're spraying at or the products, you have to look at how it's being applied or laying out on the panel that you're painting. And if it looks good, then keep doing what you're doing. If you have issues with orange peel or runs or dry spots, then you need to make some adjustments. Alright, so again, I sped up the video to kind of get this to cruise along a little, but the pace that I was doing on the first half of the hood, it looked pretty slow, and that doesn't matter. It's just how the product looks when it comes out. Alright, here's the final product. We didn't paint the fenders or anything, so you see some chips and stuff on the edge. That's not what we were concerned with. What I'm showing you here is what this looked like after I painted it. This is about 2-3 hours after it was painted. You might see some little specks and stuff. That's from the detailing, but it came out great.